350 years and more, ships came sailing to the shore, from the Cape to every nation, building one long conversation. But somewhere down the road it seems politics got lost in dreams, borders blurred and tempers frayed, promises began to fade, streetlights flicker, people sigh, costs keep climbing to the sky, someone always gets the blame, different face but same old game. Looking for somebody to throw out. Oh, but history knows everybody's neighbor when the wind still blows. Cyril finds Africa, dancing to a brand new map. Nigeria, Ghana too. Hey, my friends, remember you. Cyril finds Africa, suddenly it's Mozambique and Malawi call. Welcome back, we've missed you all. Oh, Africa, Africa. Markets buzzing, taxis roll, every nation plays a role, chasing work and chasing dreams. Life is never what it seems. Angry voices fill the night, claiming someone stole their right. Jobs and houses, food and land, problems nobody had planned. Yet the hardship and the strain often fall on those with names from across the borderline, trying simply to survive. Oh, the headlines spin, pointing fingers once again. Oh, but can't we see the problem's always bigger than them and me? Cyril finds Africa, dancing to a brand new map. Accra, Lagos, Maputo, tell us where you've been, old beau. Cyril finds Africa, now it's all vernacular. Handshakes, flying wall to wall, like he never left it all. Oh, Africa, Africa. Ubuntu, where did you go? Lost beneath the status quo. Every nation, every tribe, trying hard just to survive. Round and round the wheel still turns, some lessons that everybody learns. If we're stronger side by side, there's no reason left to hide. Wave your hands up high, we're all under the same sky. From the coast to the savannah, from Johannesburg to Ghana. Let the music carry on, sing it till the break of dawn. Everybody join the line, the continent will be just fine. Cyril finds Africa, dancing to a brand new map. From the Cape to Timbuktu, needing folks he always knew. Cyril finds Africa, everybody laugh, a late arrival to the ball, but at least he came at all. Africa, Africa. 350 years and more, stories washing to the shore, round and round the seasons spin. Maybe now the dance begins. Africa, Africa. Cyril finds Africa, Africa.
Marvin Divine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming, it's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Friends and Family Only Fridays, folks. Welcome back to FAFO. It's Friends and Family Only Fridays. Folks, well, that sounds pretty good. The audio, just checking. It is June 5th, 2026. If you missed the interview with Teo Diaga, the head of SAAI, Southern African Agricultural Initiative. Please feel free to go back and watch that. That was an epic conversation about the foot and mouth disease issue and vaccinations in South Africa. So please feel free to go back and watch that. Welcome all viewers out there who are watching the program now from around the world. We appreciate you being here on this Friday. Busy weekend. Tomorrow we have 2 semifinal games on Rugby Ascendant, where I do play-by-play and color commentary. First game will be at Scotstoun in Glasgow, where the Glasgow Warriors are hosting the Bulls, who are coming up there once again to participate in a semifinal, a path they've reached many times but failed to reach the heights to win the championship. Of the 2 South African sides that have made it into the Final Four, they stand the best chance, in my view, of defeating Glasgow. Now, the other game is Leinster hosting the Stormers, who have a very poor record traveling abroad, particularly to Ireland. And the Viva Stadium, this will be a big challenge for them. Leinster is basically the Irish national side playing the Stormers, who have lost several key players to injury. This is problematic for the Stormers. And even with the key players in there, they weren't playing particularly well. So I hope and pray that both teams from South Africa win tomorrow, which would mean that the final will be played at DHL Greenpoint Stadium in 2 weeks on June 30th. I hope that's right. Is it June 30th or June 20th? Whatever the date is. The 20th, I think it is. I would hope that that is the case, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Even though I'm a Stormer fan, I'm not convinced that we can pull it off tomorrow because they played so abysmally last week. It still managed to win, but that was against Cardiff, not Leinster. So that's coming tomorrow. Sunday, we have Wimpy Kuhn, who'll be on the program. He's one of the refugees in Cleveland. Going to talk about events taking place in Cleveland for refugees. Monday, Professor William Gumeda will be on the program. We're going to talk about his op-ed, why the ANC is to blame for racism and tribalism in South Africa. Also promote his book. And then on Tuesday, we have S.J. Duvanaga, a Freedom Front Plus counselor from the Western Cape who has applied for the refugee program. This will be the first time that I'm talked to a refugee about coming over here who's in South Africa before they arrive, since Thea van Straten, when I was there last year before she ever flew up, before the first refugees flew out. Yes, I did speak to another refugee applicant or aspirant who's in South Africa, but that was to complain about how people are being neglected. A very different story. So, yeah. Yes, Professor Gumeda will be on Monday. Looking forward to that. All right, folks, it's time for Friends and Family Only Fridays. We'll see what President Trump has in store for South Africa or for the world today, perhaps for Iran. No one knows what's coming, but something is definitely coming. It is always Friday when things happen. YouTube is broken. Won't let me send subscribers. Emoji is trying. Huh, that is weird. You're paying for that, so you should be able to do emojis. Anyone else having that trouble sending? No, apparently not. Some people are using emojis. Yes, subscriber emojis. Sorry to hear that. I have no control over that bitter end of that. It's really weird. I'll check on that later on and see what's going on, if I can figure something out. So let's get to the stories here, folks. My U.S. news is a little bit out of sequence, so bear with me when we get to that because I was busy with the interview and uploading that interview to Facebook because a lot of people are on Facebook, not YouTube. So Cyril Ramaphosa is dispatching envoys across Africa as migration issues mount. Now, this is an interesting thing because he doesn't have a single competent envoy, so he's just going to piss off the Africans. Pretoria seeks regional and international cooperation on migration and dealing with border pressures. So Cyril Ramaphosa is doing the exact same thing that Donald Trump is doing. He's trying to stop illegal aliens from entering his country. Except when Donald Trump does it, he's called a racist by Ronald Lamola. But Cyril Ramaphosa can do the same thing, and apparently he's not a racist. The president yesterday used Kenyan President Ruto's state visit to position the two countries as coordinated African diplomatic force in an increasingly fractured global order. Ramaphosa said South is already consulting governments across Africa on migration management. He said the country wants to understand how other countries have dealt with border pressures. Oh, stop. Stop, Cyril. Make it stop. He will address the nation on immigration issues as tension rises. Wow, that's interesting. He will address the country, but when is the question? When is the question? Will this happen on Sunday? Nshiveni gave no date for the address, which is being announced amid calls for anti-immigrant groups for a shutdown to force foreign nationals to leave South Africa. So when will this address be? Nshiveni declined to answer questions on who was instigating violence in South Africa. Ramaphosa will address South Africa's migration crisis, but Khumbudzo Nshiveni is not telling us when. She says Cabinet received and approved a comprehensive approach to managing migration in South Africa developed by the IMC Interministerial Committee on Migration and approved by the National Action Plan. The President will address the nation on this matter. Details will be provided by the President. When? When, Khumbudzo? When? When? When, Minister in the Presidency? Apparently people can't follow directions. You were told not to ask questions about refugees during the news. Feel free to remove that comment, and it's been removed. Why can't people follow simple instructions? Very simple instructions, not rocket science. Senior ANC leader quits for the Patriotic Alliance, takes 3 Western Cape councillors with him. The musical chairs have started as the elections come forward. People seeking greener pastures, not getting little freebies and handouts that they wanted, jumping to different political parties, a la Liam Jacobs. The ANC in the Western Cape has suffered another high-profile defection after former provincial treasurer and current provincial task team member Derek Appel resigned from the party to join the PA, taking 3 councillors with him. He was elected unopposed as provincial treasurer at the ANC's previous conference. He's among the most senior leaders to leave the party in the province in recent months. As I embark on this new chapter, I'm excited to join the Patriotic Alliance and contribute towards building on its current growth trajectory as one of South Africa's fastest growing political parties. Yeah, this is all nonsense. You don't change parties that easily. And as Kumbudzo Nchavini says, Cabinet has approved a new migration plan. The Cabinet has approved a new... Does she look like she's smelling a turd? That's like that microphone. Is that a turd? The Cabinet has approved a new approach to migration in South Africa. President Ramaphosa is expected to address the nation on the issue. The migration decision was among several major policy outcomes announced following a Cabinet meeting. Ministers also approved a revised industrial development strategy. Yay! Formally closing all remaining matters related to Gauteng's e-toll system. Yeah, right. You're still billing me for tolls that don't exist. And withdrawing the government's draft AI policy for further work. Yeah. Okay. How long before those e-tolls start collapsing on motorists? Give it about 5 or 10 years and the rust goes through and they'll start collapsing on people. New presidential impeachment rules adopted by the subcommittee. Oh, look, another starving African. I'll tell you, man, boy, it's just so difficult for these politicians. I don't know how they get from day to day without meals. Look at this, another starving politician. The proposed amendments to the presidential impeachment rules will be referred for consideration. It comes after the subcommittee on review of assembly rules met Thursday evening to receive a 7-page report on suggested presidential impeachment rules as we drag out Ramaphosa's impeachment for months on end. State law advisor Andrew Breitenbach said the suggestions of presidential impeachment rules followed a judgment by the Constitutional Court setting aside the vote of the National Assembly. Yep. So what are the rules? What are the rules? They're going to tell us what the rules are? I don't see any rules here. The Special Investigating Unit swoops in another luxury car tied to suspected Tembisa hospital fraudster, accused of hiding 3 million rand Bentley linked to the Hangwani Maumela bought with stolen funds. Wow. SIU will be attaching a Bentley Continental GT worth $3 million at the Mhalini car dealership on Friday. 11 luxury vehicles, including numerous Lamborghinis and Aston Martins worth more than $75 million, have already been attached as part of the program. I'm sorry. I thought white people were evil. Last time I checked, a Lamborghini was Italian and an Aston Martin was English. And these are luxury cars. You love our toys, but you hate our skin color, ANC politicians. What is your problem? What is your problem? Times Live has learned that a tactical team of the Hawks officers will execute a court-ordered Omar's Den to attach the Bentley. It was allegedly hidden in the dealership as it was procured with proceeds from looting Tembisa. Snow blankets Eastern Cape's northeast as more freezing conditions loom, according to South African Weather Service. Motorists and residents in northeastern parts of Eastern Cape have been warned to brace for more snowfall as temperatures expect to drop further this afternoon. Friday morning, residents of Barclay East woke up in snow in their homes and roads. Issuing a level 2 warning on Friday, the South African Weather Service warned that a passing cutoff low system together with ridge of high pressure and low freezing levels was expected to result in isolated snow, leading to icy roads in Senku, Lundini, and Sakwize local municipalities. Icy conditions, indeed. Organized crime boss Richard Shibiri now dismissed. He was named the Mshanga Commission. Yet more corruption in the SAPS. South African Police Service has Friday confirmed the dismissal of Major General Richard Shibiri. How about prosecution? Why simply dismissal? Major General Shibiri was found guilty of misconduct relating to conduct that brought the organization disrepute, and therefore he's been dismissed. How about criminal charges? SAPS suspends 9 officers in the Medicare 24 tender probe linked to the CAT. This guy is the downfall of the South African Police Service. They're all so damn crooked. 9 police officers have been suspended over their alleged role in helping secure a controversial 360 million rand contract from Medicare. Athlenda Mate confirmed the suspensions today. She said the officers all served on the bid evaluation committee and are accused of unlawfully awarding the contract. Wow. Unbelievable. More corruption. Johannesburg's financial crisis is threatening South Africa's economy, according to businesses. Ah, look at that. That looks like deep sloot. Yeah, look at that filthy, disgusting West African look of South Africa, a country that was once gleaming and beautiful, now turned to shit, courtesy of the ANC. Business leaders warn that Johannesburg's decline undermines the national growth story at precisely the moment where a more positive narrative is gaining credibility. In a bluntly worded joint statement, Business Unity South Africa President Mokhlisi Mogogo, Business Leaders South Africa Chair Adrian Gore, and Business for South Africa Steering Committee Chair Martin Kingston warned that the visible decline in Johannesburg, which accounts for 16% of the country's GDP, undermines the national growth story precisely the moment a more positive narrative is gaining credibility. Well, there is no positive narrative. The green shoots nonsense is exactly that. South Africa's economy is in the tank. It's in the crapper, and they can keep blaming it on every little thing that comes up. But the bottom line is it's all a consequence of racist macroeconomic policy, which is destroying South Africa. It's destroying South Africa. 253,000 Rand smile. The Pala Pala mastermind grilled over his dental makeover. Alleged Pala Pala robbery mastermind Imwanwele David was forced to explain a 253,000 Rand dental grill purchased as the state probed a surge in his wealth after the burglary at Ramaphosa's Limpopo farm back in 2020. A set of custom-made dental grills worth $253,000 featuring prominently in the court on Friday, the 5th of June, after his alleged Pala Pala robbery mastermind faced questions about his spending after banking records revealed a sharp increase in his financial activity in 2020. Court records showed David's account balance rose from just in excess of 100,000 Rand in 2018 to more than 3 million in 2020. The state argues the increase points to a sudden boost in wealth following the 2020 robbery at President Ramaphosa's Limpopo farm. The grills are part of a series of luxury purchases, including vehicles, property investments, which the state says point to a dramatic lifestyle change in his life. Oh. On Friday, state prosecutor questioned David about why he spent thousands on cosmetic dental procedure. Those grills were to align my teeth and keep them in shape. Prosecutor responded, they are not aligned all your life until you took them to the doctor in 2011. As you age, there are things you notice your body. I started noticing that something isn't right with my teeth. There's something right with the defendant. Well, Mr. Price has boosted his profit to a record level. Wow. People desperately seeking low-cost goods have turned to Mr. Price, which has really upgraded its image there. They have opened 196 stores as value-driven shoppers boost daily profit to 16.5 million Rand. Mr. Price says it's pushed its operating profit above 6 billion for the first time in its 2026 financial year as a retailer continues to attract shoppers looking for value despite persisting pressure on household budgets. Operating profit shows how much money the core business is making for tax and interest. Wow. They said an increase of 4.3% operating profit, meaning it generated 16.5 million operating profit every day over the 52-week period that ended March. Its gross profit margin raised 70 basis points to 41%. That's pretty darn good. It opened 196 stores during the year, taking its total footprint to 3,182 stores across 15 trading chains. They plan to open 180 more stores in South Africa during the current financial year. Growth was led by its telecoms business, where retail sales climbed by 10.3%. The apparel division, which is 80% of sales, grew 4.2%, while homeware increased 3.8%. They said they also completed their acquisition of European discount retailer NKD, the German company. Mr. Price looking pretty good. South Africa's anti-venom crisis, and this is a crisis not exclusive to South Africa, it is throughout the world. Major stockouts are set to last until July. The National Health Laboratory Services confirmed ongoing stockouts of essential anti-venom serum for snake, spider, and scorpion bites projected to last until mid-July, but has refused to say why it's happening. Well, it's common all over the world. South African vaccine producers' anti-venom production remain fully operational, but confirmed that for now, anti-venom was only available from boomslang and ikis, the saw-scaled viper bites. Wow. What's going on here? So only the boomslang. Wow, and everybody thought that was a fake name. Well, people not from South Africa, they thought it was all fake. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we turn our attention now to our favorite friends our favorite friends from South Africa. These are lovely people. Don't disparage them. Don't misjudge them. Don't misunderstand them. Don't disparage them. Why is this not showing up here? I hate when this happens. Let me have to go the long route here and see if I can't find what I'm looking for. Compare South Korea to South... Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, compare it. Yeah, 1960. Look at the difference, 1960. That's very pronounced. Very pronounced. Come on. What's going on here? That is annoying. That's annoying. I can't find something I'm looking for, so let me go looking for it this way. Wow. What is going on with these guys? They're very slow. Wow, where is this at? There it is. Why can't I find this? Anyway, so let's get our attention now. Sorry for that long build-up. That was messed up. Really confusing. We have Boomschlang, Green Mamba. Oof, that's scary. Yep. So this is who we're going to talk about now. Some of your favorite people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They touched down in the Sunshine State with a plan so grand, thinking they'd be the royalty of this palm tree land. They thought the glamour and glitz was theirs
Botox.
Taking. Like a birthright claim, all the moves they were making.
8 pounds of makeup.
From the roar of a Ferrari to the red soul stride of
Christian Louboutins.
They had nowhere to hide. Oh, the world figured out those schemes and those scams, turned the power couple into quiet little lambs. No one wants them now, the party's gone dry underneath the hot and heavy Florida sky. Don't defraud America, the lesson is plain, or you find your lifestyle going down the drain. They went from fine dining and vintage champagne to a plastic tray and a heavy iron chain. It's a long fall from grace, a bitter old breeze, from high-end fashion to mac and cheese. Shoplifting doesn't pay, didn't they know? Now they're stars of a very different show. Poor old Pete is locked up in alligator Alcatraz, lost his designer suits and all of that jazz. And Mel's sitting tight, looking out through the wire at the Broward County Ice Facility. The situation is dire. You can take the huckster out of South Africa, it's true, but the scheming stays stuck to them like glue. Will they be convicted? Will they be deported? All their golden dreams have been well and truly thwarted. Time will tell the ending, but the moral is clear. Don't bring your rackets and your swindles round here. No, don't defraud America.
We turn our attention now to Mel Fillon. I know this is one of the most important stories in South Africa, hence the reason why the media have devoted so much ink to it, so much time. And so let's just cover that ground, folks. This is Mel back in South Africa, disparaging America and being the total ass that she's always been. Here you go. Mel Fillon is back in South Africa with Botox and designer bags. I felt so ugly in prison. Sweetheart, you don't look much better outside. Prison is a place for someone who's used to finer things in life. There's no foundation, no hair iron, and it's impossible to feel good in a jail issue outfit. Oh my goodness. There's no fellas either, right? Well, forget about that. So it says Mel Fillon, the former Real Housewives Pretoria reality star who spent more than 2 months in the U.S. detention center along with her husband Pete, became South Africa's most notorious and controversial overseas prisoners, even more notorious than drug dealers in Thailand. But she's back now and back to her old ways. She walks into a restaurant in Waterkloof, smelling of bergamot, Orange and ginger, it's Louis Vuitton's afternoon swim, she informs us. Ooh, isn't that nice? She's wearing Gucci shades, a wide-brimmed black hat, and sissy boy ensemble. The outfit costs 6,000 Rand, she says, and pulls out her cell phone to show an SMS notification from her bank to prove it. That's right. My clothes cost 6,000 Rand. You don't believe me? Let me show you my look at that. There's my bank statement right there. 6,000 Rand. I'm so special. Not. She can apply all she wants. She's not going to come to the refugee program. Her lips are freshly plumped and her French ombre nails are brand new because I felt so ugly in prison. In her handbag, also Louis Vuitton, is a Porsche coffee mug, but its purpose is unclear because she orders an espresso that arrives in a restaurant cup, followed by a croissant she breaks in half and pecks at. Pecks at, okay. Yeah, I guess she's peckish. It's been 5 days since she was released from the Denver Correct Contract Detention Facility in Colorado, the place she called hell on earth. She was in custody of ICE, America's immigration watchdog, after she and Pete were arrested on suspicion of shoplifting. ICE seized them because they had overstayed their tourist visa, and for a while she had no idea how long they'd be held. There she is. Then ICE granted Mel voluntary departure and booked her flight back to South Africa. She landed OR Tampa on the 24th of May without announcement or fanfare. Her lawyer, Andre Steenkamp, told her to keep it on the down low. I was allowed to tell the media I was coming or he wouldn't have been able to help me at the airport, and I wanted to recalibrate first anyway. First on the recalibration list, a little Botox. A visit to the hair salon, a little Botox. Yeah, let's get a little Botox there. Hang on a second here. A little more over here. A little Botox there. Yeah, she's definitely not boring. A little Botox, then the hair salon, then the nail treatment, and some retail therapy, spending money at a clothing store while children are starving in the Eastern Cape. So far, people have been nice, she says, some of them. But there are others who say she and Pete are crawling back with their tails between their legs after he said so many racist things about South Africa. And how could they couldn't wait to leave and start afresh in America. Yes, Mel admits they've said some bad things in the past, and they're sorry about that. But their tails aren't between their legs, and she's holding her head up high. And also, they're not penniless, as some seem to think they are. Less. And I can tell you that Pete is definitely not tailless. He's definitely got his hands protecting his bum every day in the shower and every day in his cell in California. He's definitely protecting his bum. No doubt about that. Shame people think we've run out of money. It's just a fact. I'm a millionaire. Wow, you're definitely something. I don't know about a millionaire. She still has to pinch herself to believe she's a free woman again. Even though she's relieved and happy to be back, her heart is breaking for Pete. They had so much hope for their new life in the U.S., but before you could say sparkling water, they've been handcuffed and arrested for allegedly stealing goods worth $5,300 from a public supermarket over a period of several months. ICE swooped in, and the rest is history. In the beginning, I thought we might be able to endure it, but ICE was brutal. It was pure torture. You get cold, you're alone, you're surrounded by people who don't speak English, you're fed dog food. Okay, I'm sorry, you lying sack of shit. You're not fed dog food. I'm sorry. No. Mel, you're a lying sack of shit. You're not fed dog food. You're not fed dog food. Stop lying about America. You betrayed this country. You lied. You committed fraud here. You committed theft here. You were deported. You're lucky you're not sitting in a lockup in Florida where you belong, serving jail for your grand larceny. That's not shoplifting. That's grand larceny. Over a period of 6 months, $5,300, that's grand larceny. You should be in prison at a minimum for 18 months. Count your lucky stars that your sorry, Botoxed, bleach blonde, ludicrous ass is back in South Africa because you belong in a Florida prison. Tammy Taylor Nails, you owe $4 million to. $4 million. 68 million Rand. Pay up. You get cold. You're alone. You're surrounded by people who don't speak English. You're fed dog food. You think at the first the lawyers are going to be able to come up with a plan, but in the end they can't do anything. They don't know what to do. None of them. Can you imagine being a lawyer and not knowing what to do? Of course they know what to do. They represent you. You're a criminal. You committed immigration fraud. You didn't come to America to visit. You came to America to fraudulently stay here. You overstayed your visa. Then you falsely claimed that you were an asylum seeker after you got in trouble. No. You think at first the lawyers, okay, she was skeptical when ICE officers came to tell her she'd been granted voluntary departure and we freed the next day. I thought, all right, it's probably going to be another 2 weeks, but I washed my hair that night anyway and tied up in a bun and topped my head so I could have a natural curl, just in case, so I could look like something. This woman is so insane. The gates were indeed unlocked for her the next day, and her belongings handed to her. A package containing her cell phone and clothes she'd ordered online had been delivered there. Then she stood outside the gates with the sun on her skin for the first time in weeks. Wow. Next day, ICE escorted her to a plane from Colorado. She caught a connecting flight to Istanbul and then landed in Johannesburg. When I caught my connecting flight, I collapsed. All the stress the past weeks came down to me like 1,000 tons of bricks. Apart from, of course, her lawyer, she had coffee with her brother, whose name she does not want to mention, came to pick her up and take her to his house outside Pretoria. Be careful, buddy. She's going to stay there until she and Pete are reunited. She ordered a second espresso, but it's going to be cold on the table in front of her. Coffee reminds me so much of Pete. It was their thing. Look at the nails. Before they left for America, they drank only designer coffee brewed from Blue Mountain beans all the way from Jamaica and ground in Pete's very, very expensive coffee machine. I can't really enjoy coffee without thinking about him still over there. She last saw her husband in March, just before police in Florida arrested them. So long as they've been apart in 14 years. To comfort herself as a kind of promise she and Pete will be together again, a family member brought her a Bialetti coffee pot to remind her of Pete. We were snobs, and we weren't just coffee snobs, I know that. But in this world, you have to put up a facade, and that's what we did for a long time. Yes, we may have been arrogant and vain at times, and yes, that may have led to our downfall, but that's not all we were. People also created their own images of us in their heads. The bottom line is she's always looking to like shiny things. She has expensive taste, and she likes to smell good and look beautiful. And that's just the way it is. But prison has changed her, even if the people who say it sounds like nothing has changed. I know the videos Pete and I made when we first got to America weren't well received, but people have to remember, at the end of the day, we were still threatened with machine guns. We've also been victims of crime. Pete's intentions were never to hurt anyone. No, just to defraud Tammy Taylor. Nails. I know his heart. But prison obviously changed our perspective. I'm sorry we didn't have a different perspective earlier. Okay, I'll tell you what. Mel, I forgive you. If you dye your hair red, I'll take you. Will you dye your hair red? If she'll dye her hair red, I'll take her. Not. Not. Woo, wow. These people have no shame. He's disbarred in South Africa, and he hasn't passed the bar in America, so. Feroshka, where did I chase you away? Yeah, she definitely should wear a sign. Let's turn our attention to the URC semifinals coming place tomorrow. Yeah, definitely high maintenance. I can't afford it. Hey, 6,000 Rand, I can swing that. Not 307,000 Rand. Renee says her fish pond is deeper than that woman. Botox went to her brain. I think they missed the injection here and it went here. The Botox is supposed to go here, not here, sweetheart. Does she like puppies? Does Mel like puppies? I'm just asking. Hey, buddy. He's my friend Barney. He's a black lab. But rumor has it I kill puppies. Does Mel like puppies? We could have a puppy together. Oh, dear God. Wait. I'm dishing on Mel. That must mean I hate South Africa. It must make me a racist. Oh, wait, no. Her skin color doesn't match the narrative, so that when I criticize a South African, it's okay to criticize white South Africans, but not black South Africans who act the same way. Oh, my goodness. Let's turn our attention to rugby for the weekend. Briefly, we'll get into this news. URC semifinals, 11 Springboks are in the Bulls starting 15, and injury-hit Stormers are forced into changes. Glasgow plays at 3:30 and Leinster at 6:30 tomorrow. The Stormers have been forced to make 3 changes. Seabatla Sanatla, Sasha Feinberg-Umzulu, and Ruben van Heeren are out. That means that Wandisile Similane, Yuri Matia, and Connor Evans will be in. I think the one that's the least impact will be Connor Evans. We lose the least with him coming in replacing Ruben van Heeren. But losing Seabatla Sanatla to Wandisile Similane, it's kind of a wash at this stage. Seabatla's fast years are behind him. Yuri Matia has the kicking boot and the ability to put the ball right where it needs to be, but he doesn't have the dynamism that we have from Sasha. Warwick Gallant is the only change on the replacements bench, coming in for a backline cover with Matia at fly half. Captain Ruan Nell and midfielder Dan Duplessis will become the most capped Stormers center pairing when they make their 31st start together, surpassing the previous record held by Devet Barry and Marius Joubert. So, Ireland's head coach Andy Farrell has had his contract extended until the 2031 Rugby World Cup in America. So Andy Farrell will be coming to America in 2031. Congratulations to him. Kenya's President Ruto backs the U.S. plan to build an Ebola facility in Kenya as the right thing. He says the U.S. moves forward with the Ebola quarantine facility despite the Kenyan court order. Kenya President William Ruto on Thursday said, while he was in South Africa, said his government was doing the right thing by allowing the United States to set up an Ebola quarantine facility in Kenya. Well, that's awesome. I can tell you without fear of any contradiction, I can look everybody in the eye and tell you we are doing the right thing. It would be most unfortunate if on one request by the Americans to set up a facility at their cost, we would refuse. We would look very inhuman. Indeed. Well stated. U.S. plans to provide transportation to Americans in the region to the Kenya facility whenever needed, including by plane. At this moment in time, we are not aware of any Americans who are set to be transferred to the facility. A court on the 27th May blocked this effort, but the government's going forward with it, ignoring the courts. Ethiopia voted on the 1st of June. We're still awaiting the results, but we expect that Prime Minister Abiy will win in a landslide. But that doesn't solve Ethiopia's long-simmering problems, particularly in the Tigray region in the north. The situation involving what is happening in Tigray has been escalating for years. The roots of the crisis stretch back the internal divisions within the Tigray People's Liberation Front. Peacekeeping funding cuts mean Africa must rethink security, says Yaki Sillers from ISS. Given slow economic growth, a large youth bulge, and destabilizing external engagement for Russia and the UAE, Africa is set to become more unstable in the next few years. No shortage of deployable troops on the continent. Africa currently provides over half of UN peacekeepers, but UN funding is under pressure. Africa's 54 countries provide only 1 to 2% of the UN peacekeeping budget. Well, more importantly, they provide almost nothing to the African Union. Many member states do not pay their fees, but the largest outstanding amount is from the U.S. Well, that's because we've been treated like crap from United Nations. He doesn't talk about the AU. He's talking about peacekeeping funds. What about AU? So this is disappointing. I will write to Yaki Sillers and ask him why he didn't discuss. Oh, there you go. The AU's 400. There it is. 400 million peace fund is dispersed only a few $1 million in early response, but the peace fund is not funded by the AU. Yeah, they don't mention the United States pays most of that money to the AU's peacekeeping fund, and NATO contributes a bit, as does the European Union. Israel continues its strikes in Lebanon despite a so-called ceasefire. Israel also continues to order the forced displacement of towns and villages in southern Lebanon, telling residents at least 9 locations to flee for their lives. The United States naval blockade has cost Iran $6 billion in oil revenue, but oil is still getting through somehow, from 2 million barrels a day down to 300,000 barrels. Iran is being strangled. And this is what the IRGC claims will be their lines. They will intrude into waters of the UAE, Oman, and Gulf states. This is their map on May 4th to find the maritime zone. Well, that will not happen. That will not happen. China's Xi Jinping, terrified of leaving his country lest there be a coup against him, is traveling abroad to neighboring fellow totalitarian fascist dictatorship, North Korea. Next week, Xi is going to North Korea. Yes. He will visit Kim Jong-un. No details of the agenda were offered. Of course, he's been invited to come to the States, and he'll probably come there. Japan's prime minister says that they will defend the yen, which they poured hundreds of millions of dollars into defending recently to prop up the currency by strengthening the economy. Sane Takachi says her policies seek to increase domestic investment, reinforce Japan's supply chains, and boost growth potential. I believe enhancing international competitiveness of the Japanese economy through these initiatives will help maintain confidence in the yen. Well, I hope she's right. Japan has spent more than $73 billion between April 28th and May 27th, 1 month. $73 billion to prop up the yen. That's a lot of money. Well, Australia's xenophobic One Nation is telling foreigners they can't own property in Australia. Wow. Pauline Hanson has moved to clarify One Nation's housing policy after multiple party members misspoke. Pauline Hanson says, under the party platform, foreign owners of homes in Australia would have 2 years to sell their property or have it repossessed by the government. When asked if the measure is also applied to permanent residents who are not citizens, One Nation MP Barnaby Joyce said they would also be forced to divest. Becoming an Australian citizen, and that's going to deal with the issue, right? Become an Australian citizen, he told Sky News. On further investigation discussions, One Nation, no, we're not going to keep kicking permanent residents out of their house. If you're on a temporary visa or a foreign citizen residing overseas, One Nation will give you 2 years to sell their property. 2 years. So let's just be very clear about this. Any home owned by an Australian in the United States should be confiscated. If this ever becomes, it's not going to happen. One Nation does rule the country. But if Australia confiscates the property of foreign nationals who legally purchase property in their country under the law, then every property of an Australian in the United States should be confiscated. You want to play these games? We can play these games. United Kingdom has been warned by the United States of civilizational decline. The United States has offered its condolences to the family of Henry Novak. The 18-year-old white student was wrongly accused of racism, then handcuffed by police as he lay dying after being stabbed by 23-year-old racist British-born Sikh. Ideological conditioning and two-tier policing are glaring symptoms of civilizational decline. They must be rejected across the West, said the State Department yesterday. The United States sends their condolences to the family of Henry Novak and the people of the United Kingdom at this troubling time. Novak was fatally stabbed by the racist Vikram Digwane on December 3, 2025. Digwa was jailed after a trial. He had reported to police that he was a victim of a racist attack after he attempted to murder the young 18-year-old. While officers arrived at the scene on Residential Street appeared to take him at his word, the court determined that Digwa had lied about being a victim of racism. In the video, Novak is seen lying on his back, telling police he'd been stabbed as they grabbed his wrist and tried to make him sit up. He repeatedly says he can't breathe. "You've been stabbed. Whereabouts?" an officer says. "Don't think you have, mate." The case has triggered national debate in the UK about two-tier policing after body-worn camera footage was released on June 1st. The phrase two-tier policing originally coined in Northern Ireland in the 1990s. But in the summer of 2024, the term came into common usage in England when protests and riots broke out in the wake of the murder of 3 young white girls by Axel Ruda Kubana, a British-born of Rwandan immigrants. In a June 3rd post on X, Nigel Farage, leader of the Reform Party, said everyone except British Prime Minister Keir Starmer could see that a two-tier state of policing exists in the UK. In another post, Farage said the UK's police were obsessed with diversity, equity, and inclusion. White people are not being treated fairly or equally under the law. We must end two-tier policing. So if police show up at a crime scene and a British boy is bleeding out and an immigrant says the British boy is racist, the cops will cuff the dying British boy. Elon Musk said that. Elon Musk said that the West has created an utterly evil state religion where an accusation of racism is the gravest offense that can be committed, even worse than rape or murder. Agreed. And of course, Keir Starmer, who encouraged the riots under George Floyd, remember that? He encouraged the riots in America. He's saying now is not the time to protest. Yeah, because white people are being slaughtered. Wow. Novak's father, Mark Novak, told reporters outside the Southampton Crown Court that people should not be able to walk openly through the streets carrying a 21-centimeter blade. Of course, this is the heart of it. Sikh are allowed to carry weapons in public, kirpans, which are part of the religious faith. And I think Sikh men should be allowed to carry kirpans in Nepal, in India, not in the streets of Britain, when people can't carry guns. Thousands are protesting a resort for Albania, a place desperately in need of investment, but they don't want it. Environmental organizations have called for the project's suspension, citing threats to biodiversity. Oh yeah, and it is linked to Jared Kushner, the son-in-law of Donald Trump. Thousands of Albanians protested in Tirana against the coastal tourism complex planned by a company linked to Kushner. The project includes construction of hotels on the uninhabited island of Sazan in the protected coastal area of Voja Narta, a wetland home to flamingos, seals, and sea turtles nesting sites in the southern community of Zvernik. Chanting, "Cancel the project," and "Albania is not for sale." Good. Keep starving. Keep being hungry. Keep having a low level of development there. So, no tourist paradise is built on destroyed lives. Yeah. Okay. Enjoy your poverty, Albania. Stupid people. The nose gear on a Boeing 787 Dreamliner 9 collapsed, injuring several workers at Frankfurt. The airline Lufthansa said the cause of the accident in Frankfurt was under investigation. A fully loaded plane can weigh 279 tons at takeoff. Can you imagine that? The nose gear in a Boeing 787 Dreamliner operated by Lufthansa collapsed while the plane was parked at Frankfurt Airport on Thursday. Several workers who were on the plane were injured. The twin-engine long-haul jet can seat more than 290 passengers. It can weigh as much as 556,998 pounds or 279 tons at takeoff. Airlines said the plane's nose gear unexpectedly retracted. Well, it probably wasn't locked in place. Video of the incident on social media shows the nose of the plane crashing to the ground while it's attached to a jet bridge. Passengers had not boarded yet. It was his flight to Los Angeles that was canceled. The first Dreamliner was delivered back in 2011 to All Nippon Airways, Japan's largest airline, which I've flown with. There are more than 1,175 in use today, according to Boeing, which says the planes operated more than 520 airports and logged 2,100 flights per day. 787 Dreamliner, an incredible aircraft. Drone explosion in a Romanian port is spurring Ukraine war spillover. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen warned that the maritime drone was a direct consequence of the Russia-Ukraine war. Wow. Smoke rises after a maritime drone self-detonated in Romania's Black Sea port. Romanian Ministry of Defense said Friday the drone had self-detonated at 10:30 local time, just as the latest incursion along the eastern flank raising concerns. While carrying out missions in the Black Sea operational area, one of the Ukrainian Navy's unmanned surface vessels came under influence of enemy electronic warfare, lost control, and ended up near the coast of Romania. Quite frankly, Ukraine needs to compensate the Romanians for this damage. Europe needs a new military alliance to defend itself, says Italy. Another betrayer to NATO. Guido Crosetto, Italy's defense minister, said in an interview that European nations should forge a new joint defense system and take greater responsibility for their own security. The proposal made by Italy's defense minister calls on the 27-member union to form an alliance with 13 other like-minded European nations that are not part of the bloc, including Britain, Norway, Turkey, and Ukraine. We must build a continental defense of Europe. Yeah, okay, you have a continental defense of Europe. It's called the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. So shut your cake hole. And they talk about Trump, there's one that wants to end NATO. No, it's these idiotic Europeans. Canada orders its broadcast regulator to revise the streaming decision, which was going to take money out of the pockets of streaming businesses. Industry watchers say the directive kills efforts to sharply increase payments from U.S. streaming companies. Good. Canada's Liberal government on Wednesday ordered the country's broadcast regulator to revise its released online streaming decision that sparked likely a fresh trade retaliation from the U.S. Canada's Culture Minister Mark Miller said the cabinet didn't agree on elements of the decision, was worried about significant price increases from streaming providers to comply with the regulatory order. Industry Watch Consumer Group said the directive kills efforts by the Canadian Radio and Television Communications Commission to sharply increase the level of payments that U.S. streaming companies like Netflix would have to fork over to finance Canadian productions. Under the proposal, online streaming companies like Netflix, Walt Disney, Apple, Amazon, and Paramount Skydance would be required to allocate 15% of their Canadian revenue, up from 5% for domestic programming, with an emphasis on French language and Indigenous content. Domestic over-the-air broadcast companies such as owned by BBC and Rogers Communications would have their share of revenue drop to 25% from present 35 to 45%. 34. So this is government control, forcing people to make program that no one wants to watch, stealing from consumers to make crap program. It reminds me of Netflix with its black supremacy network, stealing my money to make shows that no one wants to watch. Well, the U.S. economy grew robustly in May, 172,000 jobs as we leave spring and enter summer, the typical season when job growth occurs. Looky here. Looky here. The economy is growing. Unemployment stayed at 4.3% despite 170,000 plus jobs being created. The Senate passes a $70 billion border enforcement bill without killing Trump's fund, and this will ensure that the ICE is funded through the rest of Donald Trump's administration. Susan Collins, the betrayer from Maine. Republican senators stopped short of using their political leverage to kill President Trump's $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund, approving a critical immigration enforcement bill without adding language, reining in the controversial program. Passage of the $70 billion package funding immigration, customs, and enforcement border patrol through the end of Trump's second term came after more than a 19-hour session. So this raised the question, why was the government shut down in October, November? Why did the Democrats shut the government down? Here we are months later, and they've just funded ICE for 2 years because they're political cowards. ICE was the topic at the time. Now it's melted away because Minneapolis is gone. And so now they're doing nothing. Nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, turn our attention now to the developing world's worst case of vote counting. Yes, we're not talking about the Democratic Republic of Congo, but rather the communist socialist regime of the Bear Republic known as California. Days after the election on Tuesday, it still can't count its votes. Governor Gavin Newsom cannot run against because of term limits. And for the governor's race, we see they are trying desperately to steal votes from Steve Hilton. His lead now from 116,000 has diminished to just 65,000 votes as they find votes, but the number of votes don't increase. Interesting how that works. Yes, and in Los Angeles mayors, 60% of the votes are there, 64% in Los Angeles, and still no movement here. Wow. And that $70 billion immigration bill has been passed. There's John Thune. The U.S. labor market hot, 172,000 new jobs in May. And South Africans come here and say, but will I be able to find work? In addition to the 8 million jobs that are sitting empty, we've added another 172,000 people, employed 172,000 more people in May alone. Economists had predicted only 85,000, but it turned out to be 172,000. May's non-farm payrolls report extends a string of solid indicators highlighting the labor market's strength following the volatility that kicked off the year. Yep. Another American has pled guilty to spying for the Chinese. This is an epidemic, and not just amongst ethnic Chinese, but amongst the whiteys too. Thomas Palkin II aided Chinese effort to obtain sensitive information. A U.S. citizen who worked in China as a state media journalist pled guilty to acting illegally as a Chinese government spy, the latest in a series of prosecutions of Americans accused of secretly working for Beijing. Thomas Palkin, the son of a former Reagan administration official and Texas Republican Party chairman, was arrested in February while visiting Washington on charges he violated U.S. law requiring agents of foreign governments to notify authorities before operating in the U.S. Federal prosecutors alleged that Palkin had been working at the direction of individuals he knew were operatives for China's Ministry of State Security. By his own admission, not only did Thomas Palkin attempt to infiltrate U.S. political circles that directs China's Ministry of State Security, but he gathered intelligence on his American targets and reported back to his Chinese intelligence handlers. Wow. In May, Eileen Wang, former mayor of Arcadia, California, was convicted. In New York, they convicted Liu Zhangwang, a U.S. citizen, for his part in setting up a police station in New York on behalf of China. Wow. Palkin received at least $100,000 for his work with Chinese spy agencies. This is unbelievable. Speaking of unbelievable, former National Security Advisor Ambassador John Bolton has pled guilty to being a dirtbag, scumbag, piece of human sludge who pointed his fingers at Donald Trump when he was the guilty party himself. John Bolton reaches a plea deal over mishandling of sensitive national security information. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy, the neocon piece of human sludge. John Bolton should be in prison, but instead he gets to pay his way out of prison with a $2 million fine. Put him in prison. It's where he belongs. So Ronaldo posted this thing about this counselor, Willa Kazi, who is a DA counselor in Durban. Now, what's interesting about this counselor is the things that she posted on Twitter. Remember, Ronaldo was cashiered for something that he did a video back in 2014 or 2020, whatever it was, 2010, 2014. And they got rid of him, despite the fact that his party said that he shouldn't be kicked out. They overruled that. Now, this is a DA counselor who is in Durban. This is what she used to write on her Twitter account. Listen to this race-fueled language. Whoops, that's not it. Here we go. These settlers, in bold, are unforgivable, ungovernable. And she laughed about it. F religion, to be honest, it came with the settlers to make us tolerant of their bullshit while they screwed us over and took our land and turned us to slaves. What does your religion say about tolerance? Okay. Someone said white settlers told black people that working in the cities was better than farming, only for them to take over the farms and left the natives forever enslaved to capitalism. They've turned around and they're saying natives are not knowledgeable enough about agriculture, so settlers came with livestock. Okay, so this racist narrative by a DA counselor, and there's no action. There's no action against this racism. So let's make this counselor famous. Is in fact this true? Is this true? Does she say these things? Well, I'm guessing she probably had 44,000 followers on Twitter, and she posts racist comments like that. Now, of course, calling someone a settler in South Africa is, in fact, a racist statement. It undermines the dignity of a white person. Has anyone gone to the South African Captured Human Rights Commission to file a grievance against this Democratic Alliance counselor for her racist language? Anybody done that? Does anybody know? I'd be curious. I'd be curious. Yep. I would be curious. Morgan Stanley is happy. Morgan Stanley says that SpaceX's revenue could reach $3.4 trillion a year by the year 2040. Projections banks share with top investors show how they're selling the rocket maker's $1.77 trillion valuation. Wow. The initial public offering is coming soon. To support the $1.77 trillion valuation, Elon Musk of SpaceX is targeting in its initial public offering. Bankers are telling investors to look to the future. SpaceX's revenue could reach $3.4 trillion. They posted $18.7 billion in revenue this past year, and he says they're going to have $3 trillion. That's a long way from $18 billion. Wow. Goldman and Morgan Stanley expect SpaceX to have adjusted earnings data of around $110 billion in 2028, $352 billion, and $230 billion in 2030. Wow, that's crazy. Well, they shut down the Golden Gate Bridge for 4 hours, and now they face up to 15 years in prison. Good, and that's where they deserve to be. Activists blocked the iconic span to protest the spending of American tax dollars on the Israeli military in Gaza. San Francisco's prosecutors now seeking a strict punishment. Good. It began like any other Monday morning with drivers zooming south from Marin County to the Golden Gate Bridge as they headed towards San Francisco. At 7:55 a.m. on April 15, 2024, some cars stopped in unison right in the middle of one of the world's most iconic spans. Out poured 26 protesters determined to make a dramatic statement on tax day against American tax dollars. Most of them stood in front of their vehicles and held banners, including one that read, "Stop the War for Gaza." Some remained in the cars, others standing outside. It didn't take long for traffic to clog and thousands of vehicles to snake along the rainbow-painted Robin Williams Tunnel and into the lush green hills to the north. Many people missed work that day. Others missed important medical appointments. Nobody died. No one was believed to have been injured, but the protests infuriated plenty of people. Now the San Francisco Superior Court wants them to face 14 to 15 years in prison, which is exactly what they deserve. And all those idiots that oil protest in the UK, they should also be in prison for 15 years. The House of Representatives has rolled back food aid for pregnant women and children. Millions of women, infant, and children recipients would have less money for fruits and vegetables under legislation which funds the Agriculture Department and other agencies. By a vote 213 to 210, the House passed an appropriations measure to fund the Agriculture Department, among other agencies. The bill, which the Senate is yet to consider, aims to cut 1.5% from overall federal agricultural spending. On legislation, the Special Supplemental Nutritional Program for Women, Infants, and Children, commonly known as WIC, would lose $141 million in funding for fruit and vegetable benefits for nearly 5.4 million children, pregnant, and postpartum women. President Trump will spend $700 million to boost coal production. Wow. $425 million to 13 existing coal plants, $185 million to build 2 new coal plants, one in Alaska and the other in West Virginia. There you go. All in on coal. The anti-ICE scumbags, including Don Lemonhead, who disrupted a Minnesota church service, trespassing and menacing churchgoers, intimidating them, will face no charges. State prosecutors declined charges. The federal criminal case continues against 39 defendants, including Don Lemon. Good. The state is a bunch of coward, racist bastards in Minnesota. I'm glad the federal government has continued to prosecute these scumbags. Prosecutors said Wednesday dozens of anti-immigrant enforcement protesters who interrupted Minnesota church service will not face state criminal charges. The decision announced by St. Paul attorney Irene Cowell comes as federal prosecutors continue pursuing criminal civil rights charges against 39 people, including Don Lemonhead. Current evidence is insufficient to meet the standard for criminal charges under Minnesota statutes, adding the decision not to prosecute should not be interpreted as endorsement of unlawful behavior. I'm sorry. So you're saying their behavior is unlawful, but you're saying there's not enough evidence to support criminal charges. How do you actually say that, Cal? How do you actually say that? We have the video footage. We have the menacing. We have the intimidation. We have the threats directed against the people in the church. We also have the slander and defamation of their statements about the people who are in the church. There are plenty of criminal charges here. You should be removed from office. You're not fit to serve. An earthquake has hit Las Vegas. A 3.8 magnitude earthquake shook Las Vegas. I mean, just outside the center of Las Vegas. A minor 3.8 magnitude earthquake struck in Nevada on Thursday. The tremor happened at 1:47 p.m., 7 miles northwest of Summerlin. Residents across the area described the earthquake jolting their homes and rattling windows and doors. Some said they heard the boom-like sound of an explosion. Didn't realize that these things happened in Vegas. Vanilla Ice, baby. Yes, is in. Bret Michaels is out. Trump's battle for celebrity validation is what they're calling this. A year and a half ago, Donald Trump seemed to have reached his cultural apex. Post-election professional athletes were doing the Trump dance. Elite podcasters were playing nice. He rang the bell at New York Stock Exchange while standing beside a picture of his face on the cover of Time magazine. Carrie Underwood performed his inauguration in the Capitol Rotunda. That day was a bowl of Mughal soup. Everyone wants to be my friend, he marveled. 17 months after he made that observation, Trump's pop cultural capital appears to be on the wane. And while many athletes and some stars have been happy to associate with him in the second term, lots of others don't want their brands near his. So, there's his buddy Nicki Minaj. There's Vanilla Ice. That's an old photo, though. California's slow ballot count makes it a target for critics. It doesn't mean elections are rigged, says Nicholas Riccardi. But it does mean elections are rigged, Nicholas Riccardi. It's not surprising those who have yet to be resolved, along with several closely contested congressional races, because the state routinely takes days or even weeks to fully tally votes. Nor is it unusual for President Trump to complain about the pace of count and alleged fraud, as he did Thursday. What is unusual was that Trump announced that his Department of Justice was investigating the count. He suggests the state Democrats are somehow cheating on two candidates he favors. The law in California practically mandates drawn-out count. There is your corruption right there. There's your theft. Ballots are mailed to every eligible voter, 23 million of them, and the state has permissive rules for returning them. They will be counted if they're postmarked by Election Day and arrive at the election office within 7 days. So, that is a theft of an election. It's election day, not election season, not election month, not election week, election day. And not having it one day is theft of the election from people. Bottom line. So, Nicholas, you're wrong. You're wrong. They're stealing an election by not having it on one day. And they're stealing democracy. And anyone who allows this mail-in balloting, like Oregon, Pennsylvania, California, is a corrupt, anti-democratic state and should be sanctioned. This state needs an enema. Its mail-in balloting system is wrong. It's wrong. And it causes more problems than you can imagine. As a judge of elections, I can tell you that it causes all kinds of chaos and consternation. I've had many people who have to file provisional ballots because they never receive their ballot. It happens every time. Yep. And that is the news for today, folks. The big story is that Cyril Ramaphosa has suddenly discovered Africa. Let's send our envoys here and there. Do they have monkeys and lions and cheetahs and giraffes? Let's send our envoys here. Is Ronnie Lamola available? Somebody bring him out. Let's... down the bottom, a student at school has a globe and says, I'm sorry to inform you, but Africa's already been discovered. Oh boy. Oh, my boy. My boy, my boy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyway, it is Friends and Family Only Friday. And we'll probably be incensed and angry tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, because I'll be covering the URC semifinals. And it will take a miracle to get what I want to happen. Ballot boxes of burnt ballots was found in California. I haven't seen that. Okay. High Rich is standing in front of Woolies and Checkers Liquor and comparing his investment portfolios. You're welcome, Sharon. Count mail votes be allowed if they didn't make the cutoff election day. Well, Karen, they're saying that the envelope must have the stamp of election day on it. Stop, collaborate, and listen. ICE is here with a brand new invention. It's called democracy. Squirrel Livingston. There you go. There you go, Squirrel Livingston. Captain Morgan. Oh, no. Gloucester versus Leinster final, says Matthew. Yeah, I'm sure you would say that, Matthew. You have a job interview tomorrow, Candace. Excellent. Good luck with it. Okay. That can be a song. Stop, collaborate, and listen. Stop, collaborate, and listen. We should make another song for that. We heard the first version of the Ramaphosa song. I didn't play the second one yet. Have you had a look at the new Cairo Mystery Building built in Google Maps? No. No. Haven't. Stop. Collaborate and listen. Oh, my stomach hurts. I wish a transcript were provided. Transcript of what? What do you want a transcript for? Who has won the California vote? We don't know, Martin. We don't know. It was on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We don't know. But the top 2 finishers for governor will go on to the November race, regardless of the party. You're welcome for the news. Debbie says, go Bulls and Stormers. Yep. How come mail about? Okay, I got that already. Oh. I lost their fleet because I'm not registered to be, and 2 of my friends applied for work there, and their CV thrown in the bin as they were walking out. Yep, that's racism in South Africa. West Coast Bees. Good evening, Colonel. If you do cover the refugee subject later, as I do have a question regarding the porthole. Porthole? The portal? A porthole is on a boat. A portal is something you open up to a different dimension. You can ask your questions about refugees now. You had an excellent interview. Artists need to stay out of politics. Okay. Yeah, there were videos of Don Lemon getting in the face of the pastor, threatening him. I know he should be prosecuted. And this fact the state isn't doing it shows how fraudulent they are. Big Fish says, the female mosquito is proof that sometimes the deadliest thing in the room is a woman with a to-do list. Oh, that's too funny. I'm sure the ladies aren't laughing, but it's true. The mosquitoes sting you more or less when you consume food. I don't know. Mosquitoes tend to not bother me for the most part. Yeah, soldiers used quinine back in the day. That's one reason why Brits are famous for gin and tonic, because gin has quinine in it, I guess. Mosquito bit Mel and immediately regretted getting involved. Oh my goodness. You guys talking about mosquitoes for a long time here. What's the mosquito thing? What issue is making big news in the UK, Hendo? The Novak murder? Well, Ice Ice Baby is off of a Queen song. Did my medicals today. Finally, now I'm like an Energizer bunny. Okay. Tonic water was mixed. Okay, that's what it was, with quinine. Yeah. Thank you, Charles. I knew it was something like that. Charissa says your case has changed refugee. I guess that means you're approved. Did Auntie send you a follow-up email on 2 June? I don't know. Sunday show. Oh. Jalopy. 2 June. Don't know. Let me get to this. Behind on mail. I'll try to get through some mail tonight. 2 June. Oh, so I showed I read the email and asked for donations, and they didn't get any donations. Ah, shame. Well, I'm going to rectify that now. I'm going to rectify that right now. They didn't get any donations, so they're looking to make 80,000. So here we go. All right, so I'm one of your subscribers, part of South African Women's Initiative called the Aunties. I followed your work for some time and truly admire the way you constantly shine. That's the May 28th one. Okay. Thank you again for the incredible kindness you showed us by opening and reading our email live on your Night Owls. Seeing you share part of our story, display the article and back a buddy link on the screen and speak so warmly meant more to us than we can explain. Even though we unfortunately did not receive donations after, we remain hopeful because we truly believe in what we're doing and the power of people coming together. We wanted to ask very humbly whether you might consider mentioning our project once more in your Sunday show, especially with so many South African refugees and expats that follow the show. I will make it easy for you and attach our press release, and you could simply read it out and encourage White Army, okay? What makes this project special is just 100 Rand sponsors one woman to attend full art class. If the White Army rallies behind this, we could reach so many more women in forgotten drought-stricken towns across South Africa. With all the rain, I don't know what's drought-stricken now. And lastly, a message about possibly joining one of our workshops. If you're in South Africa, made our day. We'd absolutely love to have you visit us. You would never steal our thunder. Your presence could bring even more attention, hope to the communities we visit. Well, that's very kind of you. Let me download the press release, so I've got it here. Okay. And then I'm just going to go show you. We're going to get this started here. Okay. Wow, that's enable editing. Okay, I'm going to print this out now, but I need to make the text larger. That's tiny. 8 font. That is way too small. Select all text. Let's raise that to a larger size. Okay, that's a little bit better now. I can see. Also, I prefer page numbers on my things so I can keep track of things because all my papers get mixed up. I do so many things. Okay, file, save as, browse, documents. Okay, the aunties bring whoop. Okay, let me get back to print this out now. Print. Make sure you got paper in the printer. I do have some paper over there. Print. All right, so I'm going to get us started here on the. There we go. All right, so the aunties are looking to raise some funds. Thank you for pointing that out to me. Do you see the FIFA mistake handing out free tickets and giving? I didn't see that. People were talking about giving free tickets, but I didn't see it. All right, so here's what we're talking about, folks, and I'm going to get us started. See if anybody wants to help. You're welcome to do that if you can. But of course, I'm probably busy killing puppies, so I don't have time. Time for this sort of thing. There you go. So they have 21,000 of their 80,000. Apparently, they didn't get any donations from the stream. So I'm going to fix that right now. So I'm going to donate. Okay. All right, and we are going to donate 1,000 Rand. There you go. And I'm not going to give Back a Buddy 12%. I'll give them 2%. Yeah, 2.5 is a fair amount. Okay. All right. So okay. All right. So you don't get to see the rest because that's my personal business. So let me get this set up. Okay, we use a Visa to pay this. Actually, I'll pay by PayPal. My PayPal will work. Let's see. Okay. All right. That's $62, by the way. Success. There you go. Success. Your donation via PayPal to the campaign has been received. Woohoo! There you go. So the aunties, you may not have gotten anything last time around, but you got something this time around because I donated. Okay? There you go. Congratulations. And if that helps, that means I helped 10 women. So did you get 10 Bormites to hang out with me now? Okay, cool. It takes a village. Finish. Okay, I take some up to 22,000. There you go. There you go. All right, so here's the Back a Buddy for anybody that might want to join that cause. I made sure you didn't get to beat me doing it. I made sure I was the first one there. But here is Here's the link if you want to back a buddy for that. Okay, you want to go support the aunties. What that is, again, folks, is it's a group of ladies who go around to rural communities and help South African women with activities. It's pretty cool. So if you want to help with that, you know, between my puppy killing sessions, I help old ladies, old tunnies. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, maybe we can get Mel to show up. Would the aunties be okay if I brought Mel along? Yeah, I saw the 400,000 rand they raised for the warrant officer. Mark Sharp said it's good to have a tie so can help you. No, that's not true. You're talking about a U.S. tie? Someone told you that having a U.S. tie is good to have? No. Has almost no impact on your stay as refugee. Your refugee case is not determined based on a U.S. tie. That has zero impact. Whoever told you that doesn't know immigration law, doesn't know how the system works. I don't know who told you that, Mark Sharp, but that's not true. That's simply not true. Having a U.S. tie doesn't give you a better chance of becoming a refugee. It doesn't accelerate your case. In fact, it's caused complications in many people's cases because they try to lean on the tie or sponsor to pick up responsibility for you rather than an agency doing it, and that slows things down in many cases. So I don't know what you're talking about, Mark, but I think I got part of that information. Maybe I got it wrong, what was being said there. Let's see if I can find what Mark said. Mickey Dangerous is back. Everyone's documents disappeared in the portal, Mickey. Stop going on about that. Okay, we covered that a couple days ago. You guys fly by once a blue moon and you miss all the news. We talked about that. The portal was being updated and everyone's documents disappeared. Not some, everyone. Not many, everyone's. What is Mark Sharp trying to do here? I need to find Mark Sharp because I don't see. Oh, my friends arrived in the U.S. 5 months. Can they ask their caseworker to have a look at my case? No. No, your friends, if you want to tell your friends, ask their caseworker to look at your case, that's fine. But if someone finds out about that, you could get in a lot of trouble. You can't interfere in cases. You can't. That's why I say I don't interfere in cases. People ask me to look in their case. I don't look in their case. All I do is send an email to the U.S. government and hope that someone makes a change. People always bitch at me. Well, you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything. Yeah. How come you haven't given me feedback? Because I don't give feedback. I can only give you anecdotal examples of people who I sent a message and it could have just been serendipitous. It could have just been coincidence. Although I know in many cases it's clearly not serendipitous. But the point is that people can't interfere in your refugee case and no one can interfere in your refugee case. Your people here 5 months ago, if you want them to be a sponsor or a U.S. tie, then the next time you talk to the U.S. government, then you say that. And if they're established, they'll consider it. But if they're just refugees, it's highly unlikely that it's going to work. Okay, did you write anything else there, Mark? Okay. Hey, Herrick Janssen from Landsborg, 59 months, 6 years. I didn't see that. Or 5 years. Thank you so much. Good to see you again, Herrick. Okay. So Mark Sharp said that. Now let me look for Mark Sharp again. So he must have said something else because I see that message. Jaya. Okay. Martin, thank you for 35 Rand Super Chat. Oh. U.S. Okay, well that's the U.S. tie. It doesn't. U.S. tie doesn't do that. It doesn't work that way. Refugee lists are full for 9 to 18 months before they even start accepting applications. Friends sent me the above and asking if it's true. I told her just apply and see what happens. What is their source for that? Antoinette, what is their source for that? There are no lists that are full. That's nonsense. The list can be 3,000, can be 3 million. There's no full list. Who makes this shit up? They just make stuff up. They don't know what they're talking about. Well, refugee lists are full. Where do they get the information from? Who is their source? See, this is the problem. Where did that come from? Bet you it's a WhatsApp group or more likely a Facebook page and people talking out their bottom. Wah, 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 wah. That's nonsense. I don't know where anybody got that from. Oh, his fund is at $586. I should start a freaking, back a buddy program for myself, man. Let's see if anybody else has signed up for this. Anybody else sign up? Nope. Nobody from Wyatt Army has donated to the aunties. Come on, man. Come on, man. Help the ladies out. Come on. Special Initiative was born to have a deep calling to support women in the farming communities. It's a ministry of hope and encouragement where we reach out with a little soul food for those who need it most. The Aunties and Mariti Boykes, that's the team and collaborators. Here's their trip for June 21st, 21 days, takes them into July. That means, so I'll probably miss them. Potchefstroom, Hartswater, Bridgetown, Falsberg, Victoria West, Carnarvon, Sutherland, Matkiesfontein, Merivale, Prince Albert, De Rust, Utzhorn, Riversdale, Willowmore, Neu-Bethesda, Betuli, and Kronstadt. They're hoping to reach 1,000 women, but they need 80,000 rand to pull this off. So, somebody gave $30 from the U.S. there the other day. So our appeal didn't really accomplish much there, so it's not accomplishing much today. Let's see if we can't get someone else to donate. The ability of the Wyatt Army to influence events is diminishing. We are shrinking in influence, folks. We are shrinking in influence here. People give 600,000 rand to buy a coffee maker. Okay, Mark is straight. Good. Exactly, last Domino. Documents are archived. There's no need for concern. But people are always panicking, and they don't listen to me. They don't listen to me. Loretta says payday's on the 15th. That's understandable, Loretta. Don't worry about it. Okay. Yep, just don't have the reach and influence we once upon a time had. Remember we raised 10,000 rand for the conscious caracal in a matter of minutes that day? And we raised all that money for the little girl with the hearing issue. Yep. Oh, you're from Hartswater. Okay. Still some bad actors out there, so I sent it to you. You sent me what, Chris? What is payday? What is payday? I get. I'm gonna laugh at someone's misfortune, but yeah, I get you. What is payday? This old age home is expensive, no doubt, Erica. That's why I've told you not super chat. Oh yeah, we've raised 80,000 rand for food socks, but we must have hit a wall, Loretta. It must have hit a wall. Anyway, well, I've started it. Hopefully someone will follow through. Why don't I get the rich people watching my program? Just the poor people. Oh my goodness. Anyway, all right. So, we got there. Let me see. Oh, we're one subscriber away from 127,000. One subscriber from 127. So in 1 year, we've gained 27,000 subscribers. You're so broke you can't pay attention. The discount in the food socks video, yeah. Yeah, Karen, I think it's Wyatt Army. I think that's what it was. Let me look and see. Is it Wyatt Army? Okay. Yeah, just type in Wyatt Army, all caps. You get a 20% discount. 20% discount if you buy food socks, Wyatt Army. I don't do that with businesses, so that's an unusual thing. So 20%, guys. 20% if you buy food socks. You put a statement of interest in on the 12th of May, and you haven't heard anything? USCIS completed 13. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? What do you mean crickets? Okay, did you go through a process before the intake questionnaire? I'm confused. The intake questionnaire came out 4 November. Currently put this towards aunties. Okay, I mean, okay. Thank you for that. I'm not sure how we get that over to them other than it comes out of what I sent. Let's see. Still just me. Bummer, man. Oh, well. Mel. Yeah, Mel and her shopping. All right. So. No, Mel, he didn't organize 20% discount. That's from Carl. Carl made that available. Okay. Well, we've raised over 80,000 for food socks to donate food to people. Yep. Yebo. Anyway, Sparky's here. Mickey made a small donation. Every donation matters. Mickey, let me see if it showed up. Yeah, there you go. Mickey, thanks. Hey, every penny counts, man. Mickey made a donation. All right, cool. Well, I feel like I'm trying to milk a goat here. People don't have money, so anyway, where's Elon Musk when you need him exactly? Well, the rich always cry poverty. That's probably why they're rich. Anyway. All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up here. We were going to do another song, but we did the one. Oh, I want to play the second version. That's what it was before we disappear. This is the second version of the song about Cyril rediscovering Africa.
Cyril finds Africa. Oh.
Katy Perry sound.
Cyril finds Africa.
Kathy, how you doing over here? You keeping up? Things going okay?
350 years and more, ships came sailing to the shore, from the Cape to every nation, building one long conversation. But somewhere down the road, it seems, politics got lost in dreams, borders blurred and tempers frayed, promises began to fade. Street lights flicker, people sigh, costs keep climbing to the sky. Someone always gets the blame. Different face, but same old
Sorry to hear
name.
that, Kathy. Should have medication for that.
Hear the people shout, looking for somebody to throw out. But history knows everybody's neighbor when the wind still blows. Cyril finds Africa, dancing to a brand new map. Nigeria, Ghana too. Hey, my friends, remember you. Cyril finds Africa, suddenly it's fabulous. Mozambique and Malawi call, welcome back. We've missed you all. Africa, Africa. Markets buzzing, taxis roll. Every nation plays a role, chasing work and chasing dreams. Life is never what it seems. Angry voices fill the night, claiming someone stole their right. Jobs and houses, food and land, problems nobody had planned. Yet the hardship and the strain often fall on those with names from across the borderline, trying simply to survive. The headlines spin, pointing fingers once again. But can't we see the problem's always bigger than them and me? Cyril finds Africa, dancing to a brand new map. Accra, Lagos, Maputo. Tell us where you've been, old beau. Cyril finds Africa, now it's all vernacular. Handshakes flying wall to wall, like he never left it all. Africa, Africa. Googling too, where did you go? Lost beneath the status quo. Every nation, every tribe, trying hard just to survive. Round and round the wheel still turns. Some lessons everybody learns. If we're stronger side by side, there's no reason left to hide. Wave your hands up high, we're all under the same sky. From the coast to the savannah, from Johannesburg to Ghana. Let the music carry on, sing it till the break of dawn. Everybody join the line, the continent will be just fine. Cyril finds Africa, dancing to a brand new map. From the Cape to Timbuktu, meeting folks he always knew. Cyril finds Africa, everybody laugh, laugh. Late arrival to the begins. Africa. Africa. Cyril finds Africa. Africa.
All right, Cyril finds Africa.
Resistance.
Oh, resistance is futile. We're not going to play that. I tried to make something. It didn't go very well. I'm trying to do it again real quick. Let me see if this works. I had a really good image, but it got double done, so I'm trying to fix it now. Zander, thank you for the 99 Rand super chat. Appreciate that. You love the song. I like the song too. Cyril finds Africa. Thank you for the local global news, ability to chat and ask questions, humor and music, of course. Cool. Been lekker to tune in again. Ugh, it's screwed up. Oh, no. Shoot. God bless it. See, this is annoying. They got it wrong. Okay, so I'm going to try this one here. Oh, man. They just got it wrong. Sometimes AI doesn't get it. Let's see what happens. So it got screwed up royally in Gemini. Gemini just didn't get it right. It could have been right. It was close, but unfortunately, it left my shoulder in there. And then it puts my... What the hell is that? It puts a leg in there. That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so I was trying to get it. So now I'm using ChatGPT. We'll see if that works. And thing announced. Thank you. 127,000 subscribers. Well, I guess we hit it. We must have hit it. So finally, 27,000 in 1 year, which is more than my channel had after 4.5 years. But last year we gained 99,000 subscribers. So we really got spoiled by that. It'd be nice if we were gaining 99,000 this year, wouldn't it? Woohoo, that'd be nice. Come on, finish the damn picture. See if it gets it right. Oh, there you go. That's perfect. There you go. I love it. That's brilliant. Okay, guys. Now, this is much better than Gemini. Much better than Gemini. Here you go. Check it out. This I like. Wow, check this out. They actually, ChatGPT went to my channel to learn about me in order to make this picture and incorporate what I said. This rocks. I love this. Thank you for this, ChatGPT. Brilliant work. Here you go. Check it out. Support, comments, encouragement, me in the world. Here's the journey ahead. Experience, leadership, perspective. Wow, that's pretty cool. I don't need the ChatGPT logo at the bottom, though. That's kind of annoying. That came out pretty well. Other than that stupid ChatGPT thing at the bottom. Wow. How cool is that? Man, oh man, oh man. I like that. Yeah, you should have seen. I'll show you. I'll show you what. So you saw that one. Let me show you what Gemini came up with, okay? This is the one Gemini came up with. Look at this. This is all screwed up. This is Gemini. Look at my shoulder. That doesn't look so good. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That one didn't come out quite so well. Oh my goodness. Yeah, what the heck? Exactly. Exact extra shoulder. Exact same description for the picture. That's too funny, guys. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. That's just too funny. Too funny. Oh my goodness. So let's put that image on here. I'm going to put it on the channel. Okay. Downloads. Here we go. Okay, that's posted now on there. We'll put it on X too. My goodness. Claude. Claude, I haven't tried that. Claude. Do I have to pay for that? Okay, Claude AI. Let's try that. Let's see what they come up with. We got to sign in. Ugh, I gotta verify the email. See, this is the problem. I hate this. Why can't I just go to the damn site? Ugh, where's my email at now? There it is. Watch it be like 9 characters. Oh, it's not. It's just, okay. It's letting me in this way. Let me try this. I'll see what they come up with. Yes, I agree to Anthropic's current. Oh, Claude for free. Gee, many crickets. I've never used Claude, I guess. Okay, let's see what happens now. Okay, let's see what they come up with. New way to expropriate farms results in effect. Yeah, this is long war. Well, that's a good question. No, ChatGPT left the signature on there. Let me see if I can go back and see if it's still there. That's not where it's at. Where is it at? Okay, I've asked them to remove it. See what it does while Claude comes up with something. That's going to tell me you've reached your maximum for the day. Okay. Now this is just crappy. That's the one that Claude came up with, and it left my photo out. What the hell? Where's the photo? It says it's a military-inspired theme with deep olive dark tones. What's military about that? No, ChatGPT was the best. Let's see if it took out the logo. Come on, where are you at? Finishing up. Let's see if it does it. Thank you, Suzanne. I don't have Photoshop skills. I never have. So again, one last week just to remove this thing. So I bet they changed it up. Oh, they did. Okay, it looks like they did take it off. Wow, cool. Download. No, it's still there. You bastards. It's still there. I can see it when I download. Let me see. Or maybe it's not. It's still there. It's just much less pronounced. And it made me look terrible. It changed my face to give me all these wrinkles and skin conditions. So I'm going to leave the one I have. Yeah, and it's a darker image. So, anyway, that was pretty cool. All right, ChatGPT all the way on that one anyway. And same with the lyrics. So 127,000 subscribers. Thank you. Canva sucks. I tried Canva. No. Yeah, I think ChatGPT does the best image generator. It does, and that's the best one right now. So the problem is that you're limited, and I pay for enough services. Claude is great for coding. Okay. Sharon made me one. Did you send me a WhatsApp? I don't see it, Sharon. You just covered it up. That didn't. Okay, thank you. Alrighty, time to go, folks. Have a good day. We've got rugby tomorrow. Don't forget that. Don't forget rugby tomorrow, okay? And yeah, vodka model. I saw the one you sent me, but it has my picture on it. I don't understand that. All right, cool. All right. That's going to do it for today. We'll see you later on. There'll be night owls tonight too, though. So cheers. Thanks. I'm going to go record a video about farming in South Africa. Foot and mouth disease. Cheers.